Hello guys, how are you all, or how are you all doing? Welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adams Show. My name as usual is Adam today, and you are welcome to the show. Okay, I think I need to readjust my microphone. Yes, it gets closer to my mouth. So, how have you guys been? How has been the week? How has been work, business, family, your spiritual life, everything that you do? How has life been treating you? I hope you all are doing exceptionally well in whatever endeavors you put your hand into. All right, so to our Muslim brothers and sisters out there, happy Eid al-Fitr. I'm guessing today is the last day of the fast, and in Nigeria we're observing public holiday. So happy Eid al-Fitr to you guys. If there's anybody right now that is watching me and would like to introduce themselves, please do so by putting your name and your location in the comment section. You know how we do it normally. Your name, your location, put in the comment section, and I would welcome you. Especially at the moment, I cannot really see anyone, but I want to believe that like one or two people will show up before the end of the broadcast. So today's episode, you can see it scrolling at the very bottom. We will be treating 7 habits to financial freedom, right? This episode is the 37th episode, and that is our topic for today. Now, what brought about this topic? A lot of the time, people come to ask me sometimes, they're like, dude, is there any way that like one can just be free of financial burden, that like one can just be like independent and all of that and just be free financially? And I was like, okay, fine. Let me take our time to do a little research on this topic, and I will be tracing it today. I would like to thank especially Smokey, that's alias, right, for giving me the idea for this topic. All right, so moving on, and saying that like most people are not available today, moving on to the habits. Now, there are 7 habits that I have listed. Oh, I am seeing someone right now. Please be kind enough to introduce yourself before I kick right in to what I have for today. So, financial freedom. I have 7 habits that like I have been able to like list out, and I will take them very fast. This episode will be a very, very short episode. I'll probably not be using more than 15 minutes at the most, and we are done for today. All right, so if you want to have financial freedom, right, the very first thing I would want us to know is this. Number 1, live below your means. You have to learn to live below your means. One of the major issue I have had with people over the years is the fact that like they do not live below their means. They just want to show off, especially would I say Yoruba people. Yeah, like I live in the western part of Nigeria, and like I'm surrounded by Yoruba people, and a lot of these people just want to show off to other people that like, yes, I have arrived, I have gotten there, even when they are not there yet. And a lot of the time, a lot of them are pressured to even spend, also to even borrow money to do functions. I heard that like there's a particular tribe in the Yoruba land that they may not, I don't know how true it is, but this is what I heard. They may not borrow you money to do something good in life, but if you need to do a party, if you need to do a wedding, if you need to do a burial, they are always ready to drop their money for you. In our opinion, that should never be. As a person, if you want to have financial freedom, learn to live below your means. Cut your coat according to your size. Do not be pressured by anything around you, and like because people are doing it, then you now tell yourself that like, okay, I also have to do it. You don't have to follow the bandwagon. Maintain your lane, maintain your path in life, and try as much as possible to live within your means. It is very, very important if you want to grow and have financial freedom. It is very, very important. Please, for real, live below your means. Nobody, you're not competing with anybody. Your time would come, right? But for now, if you're earning, say, 100,000 naira, it is not the time for you to move from the mainland to the island and then start telling yourself that like, I have arrived, I'm living in Lekki, right? Even if you're earning like up to 300,000 naira, if Lekki is or if your rent is something that like you cannot afford, there's no point in you trying to like show the world that like you have gotten there. Or probably like you start earning something and then the next thing you go and buy a car. Like, who are you trying to prove a point to? Nobody. So why don't you just learn to live within your means? Learn to live within your means, and if you can cultivate this habit, believe you me, I can guarantee is that you would have financial freedom. All right, that's the first part. Moving on to the second part, we have learn how to budget. Right, a lot of the time, most of us, like whenever money just comes in, we just like, okay, you take that one, you take that one, but we do not plan ahead before the money comes in. We need to learn how to budget. We really, really need to learn how to budget. Learn to write out all the things that like you need even before the money comes in, and then from there, from your budget, you can actually like allocate a certain amount for saving. Right? You can easily allocate a particular amount for saving, but if it is just something that as the money comes in, like you just let it go out like that, you would not be able to like what's the word? You will not be able to save at the end of the day because some expenses would come that are not necessarily important. And if you do not budget, you most likely would spend on something that is irrelevant. So you need to learn to do what? To budget. Budget your money before the money comes in. You know that like okay, your salary is 200,000 before this stuff. Probably like you're going to pay rent at the end of the year, so cut out a percentage of that and put it somewhere. Your children's school fees, cut it out, put it somewhere. Allowances, put it somewhere. Feeding for the month, right? Put it somewhere. Like you allocate a certain amount for every single thing, and then at the end of the day, you have that money that like, you can put together for your saving. Okay, once you're able to learn to budget your money, you would not be spending money unnecessarily. I don't know if you guys get to experience this, but I have experienced it in time past. When someone will just come around and then tell me that like, dude, I'm going to have my wedding and my assure a B is going to be like 15,000 or 20,000 naira. If it is not within my budget, I would not pay for it. Now, it's not as if I'm trying to do a la Roro. No, I am not trying to be stingy. But if you did not give me heads up and I did not have to plan, I did not get to plan for it, I would not, because of you, try to like dip hand into something that like I have already scheduled, right? Because at the end of the day, if I dip money hand into my emergency fund and then like something else that is much more important than the actual comes up later on, then I would be blamed for it, and I do not want that kind of situation. Right, really do not want that kind of situation. So it's always best that like budget down. Yeah, leave room for emergency, family functions, and the likes, but never ever go beyond your budget. Let your budget be your your compass as to how you spend your money. Always let your budget be your compass. If you have that strict rule for yourself, then believe you me, you would be able to do what? To have financial freedom on the long run. You'll be able to have financial freedom on the long run. All right. Number 3, which is very, very important, and this is something that like almost every Nigerian is guilty of, is debt. When I get busy for this country, like even the country as a whole is indebted to a lot of other countries out there. And most Nigerians are actually in debt to one person or the other. The average Nigerian is in debt to someone. Just a few people here and there will probably say that like they are not in debt. Yeah, you may tell me that like, but Dangote has debt, this one has debt, but they have the money to be able to pay back the debt. You that you are in debt, are you trying to make effort to pay back, or are you trying to like accumulate more debt on the long run? If you're trying to like accumulate more debt, then you're doing yourself a great disservice. All right. Now, once you realize that, like, okay, I have so many debts, then the first thing you need to ask yourself is like, how can I clear off this debt? Which of the debt is much more important, but I need to like let go of right now, like pay back right now? Which of it is accumulating percentages that like I need to like pay back on time before it becomes bone in my throat? You need to ask yourself all these questions. Prioritize your debts and then like start paying them off one after the other. If it means for you to get a new source of income, then do that. If it means for you to get a new job, then do that. Pay off your debts. Nigerians love to like, I don't know, I've seen people that like they would owe you money and they will still be bragging about it. It is a very, very terrible habit. And those kind of people can never be financially free. It is not a curse, it is just how it is. If you want to be financially free, then make sure you pay off your debt. You get an igbesi out there, go and pay it off. Make sure you pay it off. All right. So moving on, another way you can have financial freedom is you start a business, the entrepreneurial life. Because I always say this, that like getting a job is good, right? But no matter how you do it, you would only be working for the success of someone else, right? Even if you are like, even if you have all the experience in the world and you're still working under someone, like you are only helping the person to grow. There's no way the money that like you're accumulating over time would be able to give you financial freedom. You need to learn how to start a business. It may be on the side, and from there, like the side business can actually become something big on the long run. Because imagine this: you are retired, you are given let's say 5 million, 10 million naira as gratuity, and then at that point in time, you're now start telling yourself after you've worked for like 35 years that you want to start a business. Believe you me, a lot of people are out there that would want to dupe you. But if you can start a business now, you learn the ropes, right? While you're still working your main job. Over time, you can then tell yourself that like, okay, like I'm sorry, like once you've mastered that particular business, right? You can then remove one leg off the job, like till you're able to like get off the job completely and then focus on the business and then grow the business to the point that like it becomes something mega. Okay? Starting a business would really, really help you to do also having that financial freedom on the long run. Because you would business teaches discipline, and it's like if you do not work for it, you cannot earn it. So it's not just something that you just expect it to grow by itself. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to be disciplined once you start your business, right? And then you watch it grow. Give it time. 5 years, 10 years, and all that. What I'm doing right now is also a form of business. So some people, they'll feel that like, okay, how is this guy making money? Maybe I'm not going to make money anytime soon. Yeah. Maybe I'm not going to make money in the next 2 years. But I can bet it that like on the long run, someone somewhere would see my consistency and be like, okay, we want you to be a speaker at our program. How much are you worth? How much can we pay you? At that point in time, I'll start smiling to the bank. Right? But imagine if I were in an office and I was there from morning till evening and I waste away 20 years of my life, 30 years of my life. And then when I'm done, I'm like, this gratuity is not even enough because one cannot even tell if inflation would come to play by the time they pay me the money, like it would really not have so much value again. But when it is business, right? You can grow it, you can earn in dollars, you can ship out your goods to people all over the globe, right? And then you rest assured that like you can easily have what? Financial freedom. All right. So recapping on what we have spoken about so far, I said number one, live below your means. No do pass yourself, cut your coat according to your size. Number two, learn how to budget such that you will not spend money on things that are really irrelevant, things that like you do not need. Okay. Number three, if you get any basic, go and pay it off, pay off your debts. That's number three. And number four is start a business. Start a business. All right. Then number five is set short-term and long-term goals. Right. It is kind of interwoven with the starting a business thingy, but the beauty about like having a goal is this: if you're going to be saving, right, for the long run, for you to be financially free, for you to like be able to like say that, okay, I want to retire before I am 45 years, before I am 40 years. You need a goal and you need to like work towards it. Now, there'll be the short-term goal and there'll be the long-term goal. The long-term goal is on the long run, but the short-term goal is, okay, in the next 3 months, 6 months, what do I need to put in place for me to be disciplined enough to have this financial freedom that I actually crave, right? A short-term goal, long-term goal. Now, the short-term goals would always be many because as you're finishing one, you have to like face something else, right? But the long-term goal, you know that like, okay, I'm saving towards the next 20 years, I'm saving towards the next 10 years. I know that like at this point in time, this will be my exit point if I am able to get to this particular point or this particular level in my life. All right. Set short-term goals and long-term goals. Moving on to number 6, I have invest your extra money. It is not enough for you to save your money, right? Saving is beautiful. I would always encourage people to save, but also allocate a particular portion out of your saving for investment. Real estate investments, stocks, bonds, even though the Nigerian government has banned cryptocurrency at the moment, but people still do cryptocurrency and people are actually making money out of it. For those that are not greedy, I need to make mention of this. For those that are not greedy and are always looking at the long term, learn to invest. Okay, imagine if you, okay, let me cite an example, right? When I first came to Akure in 2004, lands were sold for about 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira, right, around the university campus. Now, the same land that was 50,000 naira as of then, 100,000 naira as of then, is worth over millions of naira right now. Imagine if within, 2004 to now is about 17 years. Imagine if you had bought, say, a hectare. A hectare should be about 16 plots of land, right? Let's say you bought for like ₦1 million. And then right now, each plot of land costs about 3 million naira. Now, 3 times 16, my math's still good, is going to be 48, 48 million naira. So imagine like your 1 million naira of old is now 48 million naira right now. Can you see what I'm trying to say? Like, invest your money because your money, the money that you invest would always grow. Invested money would always grow. Learn to invest if you want financial freedom on the long run. Do not eat with your 10 fingers. Learn to save and also learn to invest your money. Google can easily help you out. The things that like you can invest in. But please, I need to make mention of this. Do not go for all these people that promise you heaven and hell that like they're going to give you so percentage every month. All those kind of things do not work. Money takes time to grow, and you also need to learn patience. If you're trying to get money using the fast way, believe you me, you're going to burn your fingers. Money is not something that like you just make overnight. There are people that are lucky, yes, I have to give it to them. They were lucky to have made that money through one means or the other, and yeah, probably like legal, right? But it does not work for every other person. Don't feel that like you're that special person that like you're going to make money overnight. If you do make it overnight, then maybe that is your own fortune, right? But the universal law of life when it comes to money, money takes time to grow, and you need to like use money to make more money. You need to use money to do what? To make more money. Okay, so that's number 6. Invest your extra money. Number 7 is research before making any financial decision. Research before making any financial decision. Now, that's is linked to what I said earlier. Like when I told you that before you go into any business, sorry, that like don't try to look for any business that like promises one hell of a profit, right? Do your due research. Ask questions from experts. Don't just assume that, okay, someone is doing this particular thing, I should also enter into it. Do not do that. Ask yourself, is this kind of business something that like I can be patient to see it grow? If it is not something that like I can be patient enough to see it grow, then please do not dabble into it. One of the mistakes I made a few years back was that I tried going into farming, and I did not put all the necessary details into consideration before I went to farming. At the end of the day, the business crashed and I ran into debt. And right now, if I ever would go into any other business, I would make sure that like I do enough research before entering into any form of business so that I will not get my fingers burnt again. Yes, we keep on learning, but we should not make silly mistakes. There's a mistake that like you could easily avoid if you ask the right questions from the professionals, if you pay people for consultancy, right? I know a lot of the time, like Nigerians, we love to wing it. We just tell ourselves that, like, what now? They're like, why do I have to pay someone for something? But please, if you have to pay someone, pay them so that you will not regret it on the long run. If someone has charged me, let's say 50,000 or 100,000 for me to know the right thing before I went into farming, maybe, just maybe, I would not have made the mistake I made as at the time that I actually did it, right? So, research before making financial decisions. It is very, very key if you want to have financial freedom. All right, taking it from the very top, I said that number one is live below your means, cut your coat according to your size. Don't try to like show off to people. Don't try to like live above your means. You're not competing with anybody. Life is individualistic. You're living your life for yourself, right? And you're not competing with anybody. Live your life below your means, right? Don't spend above what you're earning. Number two is learn how to budget. Make sure you have a budget, a monthly budget for the things that you do, and then like it will be easier for you to make savings, right? Learn to budget. Number three, if you get any BC, if you have any debts, please pay off your debts. Pay off your debts. If you want financial freedom, you need to pay off what? Your debts. Number four, as I said, is start a business, right? Your job is good, but it will never be good enough because your capacity in that job is making someone else better, right? Is making someone else wealthier. So you can start a side business while you're still working on your main job until you're sure that you can leave that main job to focus fully on that side business, and that side business would actually be your main business, and you can then grow from there. Number five is have short-term and long-term goals. Set your short-term goals, set your long-term goals. And then number six is invest your extra income. And then number seven is research before making financial decisions. At this point, I have come to the end of today's episode. I hope you've been able to learn something tangible. And with these habits, I can assure you that you can have financial freedom on the long run. Okay, you can have financial freedom on the long run. Our dream, every one of us out there in this world want financial freedom, but it takes discipline and consistent habitual activities to make you get to that point. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's episode. I hope you've been able to learn something, and you would as well go forward and practice this that you have learned today. My name remains Adam Solofimilajide, and thank you for being a part of the show. Have a lovely evening. Bye.